Pilot Mortgage Group, and here is your weekly news roundup from last week regarding the Canadian housing market as well as mortgage space. Donald Trump had announced new sweeping tariffs across majority of the world. He brought out his fun little board that announced every single tariff on each of the countries that was there. Math has been mathed on that one, and unfortunately it doesn't look like the US administration really had a proper breakdown in terms of how that should have been done. The math that they did to determine those reciprocal tariffs was absolutely wild. The stock market, which is our second part of that there as well, has completely sold off in the last 3 days. We have seen a decline in the S&P and NASDAQ of about 15%, which is absolutely massive.
Markets around the world are reeling this morning as the escalating trade war heightens fears of a global economic meltdown.
Coming into this morning, there were many traders calling this Black Monday and expecting further sell-off. We haven't quite seen that yet. It's been a bit of a rally and kind of holding at the moment, but certainly lots of fear in terms of the stock market at the moment. That stock market fear is translating to money ushering into the bonds, which has been driving the Canadian mortgage rates slightly lower. We'll see how that plays out. The market's incredibly volatile at the moment, and we see those interest rates kind of going up and down potentially on a regular basis here as the market digests the news that is there. We still have Pierre Poilievre as well as Mark Carney on the campaign trail here in Canada. Last week we had Mark Carney announce the Liberals' housing plan. Some interesting tidbits in there as far as Canadian housing moving forward.
We are going to build our way out of it.
Mark Carney's policy would make Ottawa directly involved in building homes.
Part of Carney's plan was for the Canadian government to actually build homes itself. So going back to kind of post-World War II era in order to help get housing going. We'll have to see some more information on that plan specifically. There were also some announcements from him regarding the housing plan where they would be cutting some local development fees, etc. They would have to work with municipalities and provinces directly on that, but certainly some positive news there. Not quite sure about the government building housing specifically. There could be some positives, but we'll need to see some more details of that plan. Certainly there are communities and segments of the market that would benefit there. So that in conjunction with a break on GST for first-time home buyers from the Liberals, certainly a step in the right direction. So now we've seen both the Conservatives offering incentives for housing moving forward, as well as the Liberals with a plan. Be interesting to see how those develop moving forward. What I've seen in terms of the tariff announcement last week, specifically from Trump, was that Canada was spared in terms of those reciprocal tariffs, which is good news for us. The worst kind of may be behind us. Knock on wood for that one specifically. We'll have to see what comes. I think as we get our new Prime Minister here in Canada, we will probably be first on the negotiating table for the United States, which is good news for us. I know there are even a lot of Republican states in the United States that are struggling at the moment with the tariffs. It's impacted a lot of businesses. So, they are going to be looking to try and find some kind of remedy to that, whether they can renegotiate USMCA or CUSMA agreement early and kind of give a win for, Donald Trump as far as he's concerned. That may allow a lot of this to blow over in the months to come. So again, really difficult for us to see where things are going from here. We do have a Bank of Canada announcement coming up here in the next couple of weeks on April 16th. That will be very telling in terms of how the Bank of Canada views the trade war that we currently have in Canada, where we're at economically as far as our unemployment ticking up. We did see that last week as well, up to 6.7%.
Tariffs impacting vehicles and auto sales. It's easy to see how workers in that industry could suffer job losses. New unemployment numbers from Statistics Canada show a contraction in manufacturing and construction sectors, but also in retail and in recreation.
probably more unemployment coming until this gets resolved. For Canadians, not good for the housing market. You are seeing record numbers of inventory across Canada in different markets. It is a really interesting time to be a buyer if you are pre-approved and you are able to find product that is the right fit for you at a great price. Could be a good time to get in the market. Also, fantastic time for first-time buyers, just because things aren't moving quite as quickly as we would normally expect them to. It allows you to go out, see more inventory, ask more questions, make sure that you're fully confident, have the conversations with your parents, your family, your mortgage broker, in order to be able to feel fully supported before you jump in and purchase that first home. So interesting market conditions. There are people out there that certainly think that housing prices are going to slide further. TD last week came out and said that housing could be down another 4% this year from start to finish. I don't know how much weight you can place on predictions from anybody given this point in time. There are too many unknown variables, and as we take a look at those unknown variables throughout the rest of the year, I think that we do come to some kind of trade arrangement with the United States. I do think as well that we're going to have a new Canadian government. The policies are going to look better, and then it's going to be a little bit easier at that point in time to make predictions as to what we can expect moving forward. I'm Tyler Wilson with Pilot Mortgage Group. Thanks so much for checking us out. I'll chat with you soon.